Dragon Branches Masters. Fortress of the Stone Dragon. By Tracy West. Chapter 1. The Wizard Sisters. "We must be ready to fight," said Mina, the dragon master from the far north. The 8-year-old girl paced back and forth. She wore thick fur boots and had an axe tucked into her belt. The face of a woman with fair blonde hair appeared in the ice. "Griffith, Dragon Masters, I need your help," Hulda said. "But first, let me tell you about my sister." Hulda's face disappeared. A new face appeared, the face of Astrid. She looked like Hulda, but she had red hair. "Astrid and I come from a long line of wizards," Hulda said. "We both gained magic powers when we were children. Astrid always tried to impress our parents by doing better magic than I could." Rory interrupted. "That sounds like me and my sisters. We always race each other to see who is the fastest." A picture of a castle high on a hill appeared in the ice mirror. Hulda continued her story. "We both went to school in Balerion at the Castle of the Wizards. When we left, we went to the far north lands. I went to serve King Lars and Queen Sigrid. Astrid went to serve King Alban." King Alban's face appeared in the ice mirror. "One summer, the crops in King Alban's kingdom began to die," Hulda said. "Astrid used magic to save them. But King Alban took all the credit." Chapter 2. A Dark Plan. Anna gasped. What an awful thing for Astrid to do. Is everyone in King Alban's kingdom still asleep? "No," Mina replied. But it took 17 wizards to undo Astrid's powerful spell. The picture in the ice mirror changed again. Astrid walked through a rainstorm. Red magic flowed from her fingertips. "My sister told me that she wanted to become a great wizard of dark magic," Hulda said. "The best in the world. She planned to steal Maldred's secrets. She asked me to join her, and I refused. That was the last I heard of her. She must have battled Maldred, and he trapped her in his time spell," Drake said. Hulda's face returned to the ice mirror. "I have been tracking my sister in my gazing ball since she has been free," she explained. "Astrid has traveled the world collecting items that are very hard to find. I fear she is preparing to cast a very dangerous dark spell." 5 rare items appeared in the ice mirror. Griffith named them. "1 mandrake root," he said. "A sprig of black mistletoe. The tail feather of a ghost raven. A branch from a shadow bush. The tooth of a spirit bear." "I am not sure what spell she is working on," Hulda said. "Griffith, do you know?" "I do not," Griffith answered. "But Jayanna, the head wizard, might." "I must stay here in the far northlands," Hulda explained. "Once Astrid has what she needs, I worry she may come back here. She might try to cast another spell on King Alban's kingdom. I need to protect it." Mina stepped forward. "Then I will go see Jayanna," she said. Griffith nodded. "Good idea. Drake can go with you." "Thank you, all," Hulda said. Yellow sparks shot from her fingertips, and the ice mirror disappeared. Bo turned to Griffith. "Should we go with Drake and Mina?" Griffith shook his head. "I need you, Rory. And Anna to stay here with me and Iko," he said. "There are many evil wizards on the loose besides Astrid. We must be ready in case any of them start causing trouble. Mina, take this list of spell ingredients to Jayanna at the Castle of the Wizards," he instructed, handing it to her. "Drake, get Worm to transport you there right away." Griffith gave Drake a small mirror. "Is this a magic mirror?" Like the one you gave me when I went to the Naga's temple? Drake asked. The wizard turned and began to walk quickly. Follow me, everyone. They followed Griffith to his workshop. He scribbled on a piece of paper. Yes, the wizard replied. Use this to report to me after you talk to Giovanna. Got it, Drake said, and he tucked the mirror into his belt. Good luck, Drake and Minal, and hurry. Anna said. Yes. Bo added. Find out what Astrid is planning so we can stop her. Chapter 3. The Castle of the Wizards. Drake and Mina rushed out of Griffith's workshop. Drake patted his earth dragon, Worm. Worm, can you please transport us to Balerion? Drake asked. Drake wore a green dragon stone around his neck. It started to glow. He heard Worm's voice inside his head. Yes, the dragon replied. Drake nodded to Mina. Do you remember how this works? I touch Frost with one hand and Worm with the other, Mina said, placing one hand on each dragon. Then whoosh/we're gone. Right, Drake said. Worm, take us to the castle of the wizards. Green light flashed. Drake's stomach flip-flopped. The light faded. They appeared at the gates of the castle. The wizard guard frowned. Halt, she cried. There are no dragons allowed inside the castle. If you do not let us in, we will storm your castle. Mina said. She put her hand on her axe handle. Very well, the guard said. She opened the gate. You will find her at the end of the hallway. Drake and Mina dashed into the castle. They quickly reached the door to the head wizard's workshop. The door magically swung open. A wizard with white hair and a wrinkled face smiled at them. Drake'll Minal come in. Gianna called out. The dragon masters entered the room. Anal Drake cried. It's so good to see you. We need your help. It's okay, Mina. Worm and Frost can stay here, Drake said. He turned to the guard. We will leave our dragons outside. But Mina and I need to see the head wizard right away. We're here on important wizard business for Griffith of the Green Fields. Mina passed her the piece of paper with the spell ingredients written on it. The head wizard looked at the list. She frowned. These are the ingredients for a very dark spell, she said. I hope Griffith isn't making this. No. Astrid the wizard has collected these items, Mina said. I knew Astrid, Gianna said. There is no dark magic that she would not try. Do you know what kind of spell these ingredients are for? Drake asked. Gianna looked worried. Yes. These items are only ever mixed together in one thing, a false life spell. It is used to bring to life things that are not alive. Like rocks, or wood, or bones. Drake shivered. That sounds creepy. Yes, Gianna agreed. I fear that Astrid may be planning something terrible. Chapter 4. Gianna's Gazing Ball. We must stop Astrid from casting the false life spell. Mina cried. Gianna walked over to her gazing ball. Let's see where Astrid is right now, she said. Magic flowed from her fingers. The ball glowed with silver light. A picture appeared inside it. Drake saw Astrid riding a horse across a desert. Those are the red sands of Navid. And that is Mount Ruby behind her. But what is she doing there? Gianna asked. Then she frowned. Unless. Unless what? Mina asked. Unless she is heading to the fortress of the stone dragon, Gianna said. Why would she go there? Drake asked. That fortress is the most magical place in Navid, Gianna said. It looks like she is about 2 days away. Drake remembered the mirror in his belt. He looked into the mirror. Griffith? He asked. The wizard's face appeared. Drake! What have you found out? I'll let Gianna explain, Drake said, and he handed the mirror to the head wizard. Gianna told Griffith what they had learned. Griffith frowned. A false life spell, he said. Is there any magic powerful enough to undo it? I don't think so, Gianna said. I will have my top wizards work on it. The spell takes very long to create, so we will have time. See what I can learn from my books, Griffith said. In the meantime, Drake and Mina, go to the fortress. Warn the dragon master there that Astrid is on her way. Then the magic mirror went dark. Let's go, Mina said, and then she yawned. That made Drake yawn, too. Gianna looked out the window. A bright moon hung in the sky. There is time for you and your dragons to rest and eat, Gianna said. Worm can transport you to the fortress in the morning. You will still be at least 1 day ahead of Astrid. Sleep would be nice, Drake said. I do not need rest, Mina said, but she yawned again. She didn't argue when Gianna led them to the guest quarters. The wizards fed Worm and Frost. They brought Drake and Mina soup and bread. The dragon masters and their dragons got a good night's sleep. Gianna met them at the dragon stable in the morning. My wizards and I will join you soon. But first, we need to find magic strong enough to fight Astrid, she told Drake and Mina. If Astrid gets there before we do, hide. Do not approach her on your own. She is dangerous. I am from the land of the far north, Mina said. We do not hide. Be careful, Mina, Gianna said. And safe travels to you all, Gianna waved as Worm transported Drake, Mina, and Frost to the fortress of the stone dragon in Navid. When they got there, Drake felt the heat from the desert sand through his shoes. He squinted and looked up at the sturdy fortress. He counted 8 tall towers, joined by high stone walls. A voice rang out from the nearest tower. Who goes there? Chapter 5. Into the Fortress. I am Drake, and this is my dragon, Worm. Drake called out. His voice echoed across the stone fortress. And I am Mina of the far north. This is my dragon, Frost. Mina announced. Can we come in? We are friendly. We are here with a warning. Drake said. How do I know you're telling the truth? The voice replied. Drake shaded his eyes as he looked toward the far right tower. He saw a boy with dark hair. A green dragon stone glittered around the boy's neck. We are dragon masters, just like you are, Drake replied. He held up his own dragon stone to show him. The boy frowned. How can I be sure that you are friendly? Beside the boy, Drake saw a tall gray dragon. That must be the stone dragon, Drake thought. He called up to the boy, Worm will tell your dragon that we mean no harm. Have Worm do it, then, the boy cried. Drake turned to Worm. Please tell the stone dragon that we are not going to cause any trouble. Worm gazed up at the dragon. After a moment, Drake saw the boy's dragon stone glow. His dragon was communicating with him. The boy slowly nodded. Shaka says I can trust you. I will let you in. The boy and dragon disappeared from the tower. Drake heard a groan in front of them as the stone door slowly began to slide to the side. The dragon master from the tower waited for them. Next to him, Shaka's body was glowing with gray energy. The stone door seemed to be sliding on its own. Is the stone dragon moving the door with her powers? Drake wondered. Then he, Mina, Worm, and Frost stepped into the fortress. Drake got a good look at Shaka. She had a strong, sturdy shape. Her gray scales reminded him of stones. The sharp spikes going down her back looked like dark crystals. The stone dragon began to glow again, and the door slid closed behind them. Whoa! Drake cried. Can Shaka move things with her mind? Worm, my earth dragon, can do that. Shaka can connect to anything made of stone, the boy replied, and he smiled for the first time. I am Casper. Jayana, the head wizard, told us that this place is very magical, Drake said. It is, Casper said. Let me show you the Garden of the Beasts. They followed Casper across a courtyard. Giant rocks rose up from the ground. Some of the rocks were bigger than the dragons. Casper led them into a different courtyard. Scattered across the ground were bones. Hundreds of bones. And the bones were huge. Some of them were as long as Worm and as thick as a tree trunk. Drake and Mina gasped. Bones! Mina said. Do you think that Astrid is going to bring these bones to life? Drake cried. Chapter 6. The